Hello again. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about unusual channels of love. Now, what is God like? God is love. 1 John 4 and verse 16, God is love. But why am I making this video today? Because I've come across a lady called Donna Rigney, R-I-G-N-E-Y, Donna Rigney. She was on Sid Roth, and I've watched her on a number of programs now. And she has explained something to me so important I wanted to share it with you. God is love, but he wants to channel that love. How does he do that? Well, first of all, we have children. And young children, when you bounce a kid on your knee and cuddle them and kiss them and play with their hair and play all sorts of games with them, we experience a beautiful innocence of love from those children. Now, I've got two daughters, they're grown up now, and I'm thinking back to the time that they were little baby girls and they used to dress up and in their dressing gowns and their hair coming down and stuff like that. And there was a great amount of love in those daughters, and I loved it. I really wallowed in it. I just was so proud to be a daddy of girls. And of course, girls grow up, have their own lives and so on. But now we have two dogs. And the dogs we've chosen are small dogs, but one of them is a Jack Russell. And a Jack Russell is known to be a terrier, and she chases around in the countryside, and she's got a little rabbit that she shakes and says, "Is it dead now, Heidi?" You know, she's very, very fierce and ferocious at times. It's in her genes. She was reared and raised in the race called Jack Russells. We have another dog, Lenny, and he is a Yorkshire Terrier. Now, this little dog is love on paws. If he gets on your knee, he will lick you and lick you and lick you. You only have to blow on him and he'll lick you. And these two animals that we've got, they are just like unconditional love. They sit in their baskets, they come for walks, we play with them, they come on our bed, we cuddle with them, etc. But I've never seen this before until I've seen this lady, Donna Rigney. Donna has had many visits to heaven. She's written a book called Divine Encounters, amongst other books, and I've seen her interviewed. And in her visits to heaven, she's realised that Jesus has pets. And in fact, she went on an elephant ride with him, and the elephant picked up some flowers for her, swung his trunk round and gave it to her. And she saw a giraffe, all sorts of animals. I know you might find this is, a little bit stretching it, but Donna is a real prophet of God. She has been to heaven and continues to go to heaven. And her life is so parallel to the life of my wife, who has also visited heaven on many occasions and seen in heaven pets that have died. Tigger and Whitepaw and other cats she's had, and Barnaby, a dog she had, and so on. Those little pets are now in heaven. And Veronique, when she goes to heaven, she sees her pets. Now, those pets bring us unconditional love. We don't have to especially please them. It's just their nature. They want to love us. So an unusual source of love for us are our pets and, of course, our young children. Now, what happens when the young children grow up and they become teenagers? Well, we all know what happens when that takes place. And what happens, though, if you lose a young child? Well, the young child, if it dies of a disease or whatever, you lose it in an accident or whatever the circumstances, that young child, before it becomes an age where it can choose good and evil, that young child is automatically taken up into heaven, and they get brought up by the angels in heaven. And those children, they know us, and they will be there when we go to heaven. So when we are wondering about, what happens to our pets, what happens to children who died, or maybe you've had a miscarriage or something like that, those young children are in heaven. And we can benefit from their love. We can give love and receive love from those children. And those children are praying for us as well, and waiting for the time that we are back in heaven with them. But I want to just focus for the last minute on pets. You might think that having a couple of dogs is a bit of a bind, really. You've got to feed them, you've got to walk them, you've got to clean them up, and so on. But they are a channel. When your dog licks you and looks at you with those adoring eyes, that is the love of God flowing through that pet to you. Jesus has got pets a bit larger than a couple of small dogs, giraffes and elephants and so on. But all pets and all animals have that capacity. I remember my grandma had a budgie, and she used to go up to the cage, and the budgie would kiss her or peck her on the lips, and my grandma would just love that. She'd say, "Look, see how he loves me." And I say, "Yes, Grandma, But now I understand that it's the flow of the love of God to us. He flows his love through our pets, budgerigars, cats, dogs, whatever you choose as a pet. He can flow his love to you and console you and comfort you when things are tough. I find that sometimes I say, "Come here, Lenny, come here, I just want some kisses." And I pick him up immediately. I'm kissed. And so I wanted to share this dimension with you today, unusual sources of love. And I'm sure that you will appreciate your pets more, having this dimension of understanding. They are God's gift to you and the channel of his precious love to us. Amen.